Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to a very strange review, because usually I do either one movie, or if I do two movies in one video, I usually do it where I review one film and then I go to the next one, and pretty much make them two separate reviews but just in one video. Or just do one, review and that's it, in one video. This one's gonna be one video, one review, two movies. That's right, because I'm taking a look at two films, but I'm gonna compare them against each other because they're very similar if you think about it, because these are two comedies that are R-rated that came out in the last month and bombed big time at the box office. These are Hot Tub Time Machine 2 and Unfinished Business. These movies bombed completely. I saw them. They got terrible reviews. I should probably mention that. They're both supposedly bad movies. I'll tell you if they are or not. And they bombed at the box office, like I said, and they are rated comedies. They're vulgar, they have boobs, they have dicks, they have all the stuff you like in their R-rated vulgar comedies. So, let's take a look at both of these films side by side. Let's compare them. It's gonna be easy. Now let's talk about the stories of these films, because in Hot Tub Time Machine 2, like in the first one, they have a hot tub that they use as a time machine. They go back into the past. In this film, they actually go into the future because someone has assassinated Rob Corddry's character. They have to go find out who did it and why. In Unfinished Business, you have Vince Vaughn, Tom Wilkinson, and Dave Franco, who have a small business that they would like to succeed, and they have to go to Germany to make sure it does, pretty much. And that's really the story for both of these films. Let me tell you straight up, the stories for both of these are just setups for dick jokes. Dick jokes, boob jokes, piss jokes, gay jokes, any kind of vulgar, stupid-ass joke you see in an R-rated film, that's the kind of joke you're getting in both of these films. That's it. That's what the story is. Even though I would say Hot Tub Time Machine 2 has more of an inventive story than Unfinished Business. Hell, in Unfinished Business, you don't even know what their business does, really. You know that they sell, like, scrap metal or something like that. You don't even know what each of the members in that business do. You don't know what Vince Vaughn does. You don't know what Tom Wilkinson does. You don't know what Dave Franco does, especially Dave Franco. You don't even know what their roles are in the business. But Hot Tub Time Machine 2 doesn't have a good story either, but at least it tries a little bit harder to make it make more sense, and it tries to have twists and turns here and there. It doesn't really work. Doesn't at all, actually. But for the most part, at least it tries a little bit harder than Unfinished Business. Unfinished Business is just, let's go to Germany. Oh, look, boobs. Oh, our car flipped over. Oh, Dave Franco got hit in the head with a dick. Oh, look, there's a whole steam bath here where there's a bunch of old naked people. Oh, look at that girl's tits. She's like 80 years old, or not that old, like 50 years old, but oh, look, she's naked, that's funny. Oh, Vince Vaughn's taking off his clothes, look at his dick. Like, that's the kind of jokes you're getting in both of these films. But Unfinished Business definitely makes it so that it's less story and more dick jokes, where Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is a little bit more story, but still mostly dick jokes and gay jokes. If that makes any sense. Both of the stories suck in this film. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, the acting for both of these films, you don't need Oscar caliber acting for either one of these. You don't. You just don't need it. I mean, if you have it, good job. Hey, you got some good-ass actors. But all you need are actors that are solid enough where they can read the script, read all the funny, quote-unquote funny lines, and are able to take that dialogue or whatever and make it funny on screen. Even if it's not even that funny on script, they can make it funny on screen. Or hell, better yet, if you have comedic actors out there that can improvise and actually be really, really funny doing it, then hell, you got some good-ass actors there. And for the most part, you kind of have that for Hot Tub Time Machine 2. Hot Tub Time Machine 2 has a lot of improvised lines. You could tell. There are scenes that go on forever because Craig Robinson, Clark Duke, and Rob Corddry are just like ragging on each other. Mostly Rob Corddry and Craig Robinson. You can tell those are two funny dudes. You can tell. And they are like ragging on each other, like, you look like Billy Zane's dick and all that stuff. Like that scene where they're in the front of the mirror and looking at their old selves and they're just like cracking jokes on each other. That goes on for a good like almost minute of them just going, you look like this, well you look like that. And for the most part, that scene is kind of funny. And what I really appreciate is that they took a lot of the things they said in the trailer and cut them out of the movie and put new stuff in there, so you don't hear the same lines that you heard in the trailer. I mean, not all of them. You definitely still hear some of them, but they actually added a lot of newer lines there, which I appreciated. Unfinished Business, on the other hand, The acting's not terrible. There are times where they're not improvising, but they're reading the script and they're doing a okay job of making it try to sound funny. Like there's a part where Tom Wilkinson, who is not a comedic actor at all, really, but he does a decent job here. There's a part where he is in a hotel room with a maid and he thinks it's one of those stripper maids or hooker maids or whatever, and he's just telling this maid like when you're scrubbing the floor, you show me a little bit more titty. Like that's an actual line from the film. And the way he says it, he's all shy. He's like, I think you should show me more titty. It's really, really vulgar, but it's kind of funny the way he delivers the line. So for the most part, the dialogue and all the written stuff isn't really all that funny in either one of these films. But because of the way the actors say the stuff and the way they improvise, they do a decent job. But if I had to say which one is the winner here, I would say Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is the winner for acting, because at least you have a lot of really actual comedic talent making up stuff. Now, for any comedy, you expect comedy. You expect there to be funny moments. You expect to be sitting in your seat in front of your TV or theater screen laughing, because either way you're paying for this movie unless you torrent it, which shame on you. But still, if you are watching this film, you're expecting laughter. Even if you torrent the film or you see it free on Netflix or whatever, you are still wasting your time or spending your time watching the film. So you still have invested something in this film. So you expect it to be funny. You have a freaking right to have your mouth go and sounds of laughter popping out of your mouth hole. You were expecting that. You want to laugh. And these movies failed. They failed. Even though I said in the acting, these two movies have their moments. They do. They do. But they are definitely not $10, $11 a ticket worthy, or hell, even like $2 Redbox rental worthy. They definitely are. And you can find way funnier movies. You can find way funnier clips on YouTube than these films, and way more inventive too. And then you have Unfinished Business, where I like, the title is exactly right. That movie is unfinished. The way the movie wraps up, the way the movie tells you its characters and what they're about is just terrible. You don't know anything about the characters in Unfinished Business besides Vince Vaughn has a son that's fat and a daughter that's a bully. That's about it. That's all you know about this character. You don't get to know him really at all. You know that he wanted to run a marathon, and that's definitely not foreshadowing at all. Ooh, definitely not. That's about it. You don't know who Dave Franco is. He's some mentally retarded guy. Sorry, that's what he plays. That's how he plays it, at least. And he's not really all that funny. Most of his lines are just like something happening and then him reacting to it by saying what just happened. Like, there's a part where he trips and falls on a dick. It makes more sense if you see the film, which I don't really recommend. And his reaction is, dick hit my face. Okay. That's like if I went outside right now and I punched a guy, I filmed it, and I said, I punched you. Is that funny? No. Falling on a dick could be funny. Alright? Let me get this straight. Right? Falling on a dick could be funny. They just didn't make it funny here. Okay? I'm not a comedic writer or anything. I don't even think I'm that funny. But I can tell you right now, I can make a better dick joke than that. It's a terrible dick joke. Shame on you. There's a lot of bad dick jokes in both of these films. But Unfinished Business, if I had to say which one had worse dick jokes, it would be that film. Unfinished Business had some bad ones. Alright? There's a lot of really terrible set pieces in both of these films. Really bad. Like Hot Tub Time Machine 2, there's a part where they're in a game show, and it ends with butt rape. It ends with Craig Robinson and Adam Scott having butt sex, but it's butt rape. It's straight up butt rape. And it's supposed to be funny, and even all the interactions after that between Craig Robinson and Adam Scott is supposed to be funny. No, not really. Like I said, some of the improvised jokes are kind of funny. Like, you could tell they're just rambling on and on about, like, oh, you look like this, you look like that. But for the most part, the actual written set-piece comedy is not funny. Sometimes it's funny with the actors, but when it gets to a part where you're supposed to laugh because of the sight gag or something, it's not funny. There you go, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, both of these films are not really that funny, really. There's funny moments in both of them, but definitely not worth an hour and a half each. If I had to say which one won, I would say Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is a little bit funnier because the actors are improvising a little bit more, and they are actually genuinely funny. Vince Vaughn and everybody else in Unfinished Business, they're not improvising really at all. Even though sometimes they say something that's kind of funny, you could tell it's straight off from the script, and they do a decent job of reading it, but they're not really, or performing it, I should say, but they're not improvising. So overall, I guess Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is the winner. I would give that movie a 17 out of a 40, and I would give Unfinished Business, I would give that a 14 out of a 40. They're both not good films, but if I had to recommend which one to see, I guess Hot Tub Time Machine 2. I actually recommend the first one more. So there you go. Go see Hot Tub Time Machine 1. Even if you've already seen it. It's way better. So there you go. That's my review for both of them. They both suck. Not very good films, but Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is a little bit better than Unfinished Business. So there you go. Mordecai is worse. I want to top it off by saying that. So anyway, there you go. Thank you and goodbye.